Good afternoon, everyone. I will now start our session on energy investments and opportunities. I'm going to start by sharing some slides with you about our group of business angels and the startup presenting today. So today's webinar is going to be again about energy investments, because this is quite an interesting theme for ourselves. If we put modesty aside, we have a very good knowledge among our group of business angels. It is definitely one area in which we see significant investment opportunities. First of all, some words about VSM Investment Studio. For those of you who don't know us, we are a group of business angels. We are based in Portugal and Spain. Our focus is to share information on opportunities regarding investment and supporting of entrepreneurship, of startups, opportunities in startups. We have a group now, first of all, about the management team of VSM Investment Studio. I am one of the managers. We have 4 active managers of this group of business angels, me and Luis Almeida in Lisbon, and George and Miriam in Madrid, in Spain. We are the 4 managers of this group of people. And today, some of you may have attended the last session on energy. In the last session, the presentation was made by business angels, by energy business angels. And the difference is that today we invited one of our startups to share their views and outlook with us. The startup is called Delab. It is one of our most interesting companies in our portfolio. We have now 25 companies being financed by this group of business angels. Delab is an energy services startup. Delab was financed since its inception, since the company was set up in 2017 by 2 entities owned by business angels. One focused only on energy investments, which is Energy Planet, and the other one on sustainable investments, VSM Capital. Energy Planet has 6 business angels as investors, and VSM Capital 15 business angels. So we were the financiers of the company, and Mr. António Elvas is the CEO of the company and the promoter of the project. VSM Investment Studio right now has reached the number of 100 members. 21 of the members are already investors in some of our projects. Then we have 10 advisors specialized in specific areas, 25 investments, as I just mentioned, and 4 vertical investment vehicles. We, in the last 10 years, helped to finance and grow more than 50 startups, some of them successful, others not successful, but overall, the thing has been going on very well. We have, so as I was mentioned in the beginning, we have some areas in which we have more expertise than others. We are looking always to energy opportunities. We have more than 10 years of experience in investing in energy startups. There's a lot of things going on technologically wise, and also in terms of regulation. The opportunities are very interesting, both for the investors, for the business angels, but as well for the entrepreneurs themselves. Lots of opportunities to create new businesses, and that is going to be the main topic of today's presentation. We are also looking to another areas of investment, starting to look at finance and insurance, health and well-being. And finally, for those of you who wish to apply for membership of this group of business angels, please contact us. Also, during this presentation, if you want to place any questions please use the chat box in the Zoom chat box below. We're gonna be able to answer the questions by the end of the presentation. And now I would like to present you Mr. António Elvas, who is the CEO of Delab, and who we invited Mr. António Elvas and the team of Delab to share their views with us regarding opportunities in energy. And so I'm gonna put Mr. António Elvas as host, and please go ahead, António. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tiago, for your presentation. I'm not sure if you are already seeing my screen. I suppose now you have all. The screen is on, I suppose. So I will start very rapidly because I just have 20 minutes. So if I'm going too fast, I'm really sorry, but I have to pass all these slides and I hope I will finish in time. So first of all, I would like to thank you. I'd like to thank you for attending this webinar, Energy Transition and Investment Opportunities. I would like to guide you through the Delab project, our business trend and expected evolution. We will start the presentation regarding energy efficiency investment opportunities, contextualizing the role of our company. Before beginning this presentation, I would like to say a few words about me and my background. My name is António Elvas. I'm the Delab managing partner. I graduated as a mechanical engineer. I have been working in this sector, energy efficient and renewable energy, since 2007. I had founded and managed and engineered renewable energy companies such as Plurenergia between 2009 and 2017, and currently I'm managing Delab. I think everybody is aware that climate change is on the table, on the news, and part of current European and national policies. The world has been getting warmer thanks to greenhouse gas emissions that are emitted continuously so that society can meet their needs. Do we need concrete evidences? I think everybody is aware that climate change, there is no doubt. We are experiencing record-breaking temperatures around the world. According to NASA, 19 of 20 warmest years on record ever occurred since 2001, and it's recorded 415 parts per million of CO2 emissions currently. Satellite data reveals that Earth's polar ice sheets are losing 428 billion metric tons per year of mass, and it is recorded an increase of 3.3 millimeters per year of sea level over the past 10 years. So climate change is definitely one of the biggest issues today, and now we need to redefine our priorities. It is well known that energy and global warming are intrinsically linked. A proof of this is the fact that energy sector contributes to 2/3 of an emission of greenhouse gases. In this context, we need to change the plan. If we don't change the course, we risk missing the point where we can avoid runaway climate change with drastic consequences for people, for businesses, and for all of natural systems. So energy is one of the main pillars of society, satisfying most human needs, and is therefore crucial for economic development. However, to be able to live sustainably, we need to drastically reduce our fossil fuel consumption worldwide by improving end-use efficiency, conversion efficiency, and by introducing renewable resources. To stay ahead of depletion of fossil resources, we need a timely transition. We need to transform our energy system. In this segment, there has been a growth in new policy and instruments in the last years to combat climate change and promote the energy transition. We first highlight the Paris Agreement as the existing base policy, which limits the increase in the global average temperature to well below 2 degrees above pre-industrial levels, and pursues efforts to limit the temperature increase to 1.5 above pre-industrial levels. For this, it is required an unprecedented transformation of modern society and urgent profound emission reductions in all sectors of activity. So it emerged Clean Energy for All European package with 8 legislative acts that will facilitate the energy transition in European countries. At national level, the National Energy Efficient Action Plan and the National Renewable Energy Action Plan defines policy and measures to achieve the targets defined for 2020. And more recently, 2030 National Energy and Climate Plan, PNEC 2030, was published with new targets for energy efficiency and the incorporation of renewable energy, as well including lines of action and measures to be adopted for decarbonization in articulation with the roadmap for carbon neutrality 2050 that presents a strategic and narrative vision for the decarbonization of national economy and the consequent carbon neutrality until 2050. Finally, we have Green Deal provides an action plan to turn this political commitment into legal obligation, in which will be necessary investments in environmentally friendly technologies, supporting industry to innovate, rolling out cleaner, cheaper and healthier forms of private and public transport, decarbonizing the energy sector, ensuring buildings are more energy efficient, and working with international partners to improve global environmental standards. Investments are shifting too. In Portugal, investments to promote the energy transition for the years of 2021 to 2026 have already been budgeted, having recently been published on the Recovery and Resilient Plan. In this plan, it is expected to be allocated 7.449 million for resilient area and 2,651 million euros in digital transition, and 2,703 million euros in climate transition. More precisely, it is expected 865 million for decarbonization and bioeconomy, and 806 million euros energy efficiency and renewable. So enormous benefits await society if we can rise to the climate challenge. A great many of these benefits are economic, and the European Green Deal is our plan to make the European Union's economy sustainable. So we need to change the plan. And what is a renewable energy? Renewable energy, often referred to as clean energy, is nothing more, nothing less than the energy that is generated from natural sources or processes that are constantly replenished. Presently, renewables compete with fossil-based systems. Now that we have increasingly innovative and less expensive ways to capture and retain wind and solar energy, renewables are becoming a more important power source. This is the energy transition process that Delab is doing. Go through the diagnosis and energy audits to analyze the existing energy consumption. Once the energy performance is known, it is possible to select the appropriate technology solution to reduce consumption and manage consumption, following up in real time with Internet of Things. Briefly, it is necessary to reduce the overall need of energy using services through better sizing, using and sharing equipment, better organizing and land society. Avoid as much energy losses as possible all along the chain in the way energy services are provided through improved equipment buildings, and prioritize green energy for supplying the remaining energy demand. Now about us. Who is Delab? Delab is a national player in development and management of efficiency and renewable energy projects with more than 20 years of experience, along with top technology available in the market. We want to optimize energy consumption and efficiency and prioritize green energies for supplying the remaining energy demand. So basically, our core business consists in providing sustainable and affordable energy to business and community. Delab has been investing and participating in several companies to promote its activities in relevant business areas according with company strategy. Delab intends to promote the energy transition through a specialized technical staff, which adds value to the market and enhances the company's growth. Currently, Delab holds 10% of PSE, Planet Sustainable Energy Limited. This was part of Delab's strategy to ensure business relation related with PSE company, not only in Portugal, but abroad. Delab holds 19.8% of Multiply Energy. Multiply is an asset manager that funds and operates renewable energy projects by generating special purpose vehicles that operates different energy projects. Delab has been developing and licensing several PV power plants in Portugal and Azores for Multiply. Delab holds also 7% of Innovachem, an innovative green energy solution company. Delab has been in collaboration with Innovachem with regards a project called OIPS, offshore island of Porto Santo. It's a pilot project for development of an offshore platform that integrates the production of wind energy and aquaculture. Our company is divided in 4 main areas. We have the energy efficiency, where it includes energy audits and building certification, implementation of energy consumption management system in this area too, and energy efficient measures such as efficient lighting and capacitor banks, as we operate on a turnkey basis with the possibility of financing. Renewable energy solutions is another area where we provide specialized service in the field of renewable energy, more precisely PV turnkey installations, or in ESCO module, ensuring contracting and project management services. PV consulting supervision, where we ensure a wide range of technical areas from the design phase to licensing and supervision. This area also includes the support of renewable energy communities in the pursuit of development of renewable energy projects. Then we have innovation and development, which aims to promote synergies between education and research institutes, including projects at national and European level. We intend to generate value for all involved in our business, from the shareholders to the people who will save their energy bills. Our main goal is to impact not only on our customers, by providing energy efficiency services, but also the environment and society by developing more efficient energy solutions adapted to a new digital incoming reality and energy decentralization. Our monetization strategy is essentially based on expanding work within the scope of our 4 departments, namely Delab Energy Efficiency, which is our major revenue generator. We provide clients with top advice on how to reduce their energy consumption and with energy efficiency solutions. Delab Solar Energy Solutions, where we expect a major growth in the following years and where we are developing PV self-consumption prosumers project for industry and large-scale buildings. And Delab PV Consulting and Supervision, where we work on PV studies, dimension licensing and supervision. We expect that this area will have a huge growth in the next year as well. And finally, innovation and development, where we carry out energy projects with European and international partners. Delab market is mainly composed by service and industry infrastructures and renewable energy. We see our market divided in a timeline of development within the next 5 years. We operate virtually in all market segments, since the use of energy is transversal to all economic activities. There are, however, some sectors with particular interest for the development of energy efficient and energy production projects in our area of activity, namely healthcare services, industry, retail and distribution, hotels, and automotive sector. Delab was responsible for performing more than 250 energy audits in the tertiary industry and transport sector, including clients from different activities such as Lisbon University of Medicine, Unique Bank, Simpor, Mundi Center, several hospitals all over the country, Salvini, and much more. On accomplishment on green power, Delab is developing several projects at national level, which involve the provision of land identification, qualification, and contracting services, framing, design, and licensing of photovoltaic plants. We have ongoing 3 photovoltaic plants in the mainland for Multiply Energy in a total of 40 megawatt peaks. We have 1 photovoltaic plant of 5 megawatt peaks in Azores for Energy Keme. The value of this portfolio work in terms, it's around 200,000 euros. We were awarded also the supervision of several units for self-consumption to be carried out by EPAL in 2021 within the scope of Águas de Portugal Group strategy to achieve carbon neutrality until 2030. This project value is around 170,000 euros. We are carrying out several projects of technical audit, dimensioning, and development of solutions for self-consumption. And we have several turnkey proposals for supply and assembly of units for self-consumption in a total of 2 megawatts under evaluation and negotiation phase. This is one of the areas of expansion of Delab's activity in the coming years, which fits into the objectives of the energy transition plan, which aim to achieve 1 gigawatt installed capacity until 2030. So our actual trend business expansion areas we identify to grow within the next 5 years are efficient lighting projects resulting from energy efficient measures, energy management in monitoring as energy efficient measures with an impact on our organization from 10 to 30% of cost reduction, PV consulting and license, PV project supervision. There are plans for several self-construction projects to be developed by public entities that will require inspection and specialized supervision, which we can provide, and turnkey ESCO green power projects for industry and large-scale buildings. Here, we are working to enter in 2021 with projects in these areas. This will have several proposals already placed, and it will represent a huge market for us within the next years. On the SWOT analysis, I would say that our strength is highly qualified and diverse team. We already have a large network of clients, partners, and suppliers already built. We have, in terms of opportunities, a legal framework very good already in place, and we have the availability. We have available finance instruments as well. We have the integration of technology in medium and big size clients, and we have a market very open to technology changes. In terms of our weakness, I would say that we need to set up a new business developer area to improve, to develop this area, and we need to improve also our marketing and networking. And for that, we need investment in these areas to scale up the business. In terms of main threats that we can figure out is COVID-19 impact in 2021. Depends on the vaccine and the customer financial difficulties in terms of investments for those business. In terms of our strategy, we are looking for an investment of 100,000 Ks for activity growth to be achieved from incentive mechanisms that will be established by government in a very short term for micro and small companies to support entrepreneurship and job creation. And another way is by opening the company's capital to investors interested in promoting the business project under conditions to be negotiated. The investment will be applied in the implementation of the company's business plan for the next 5 years, and it is essential based on the following areas. And it's based on the following areas. Sorry, 75,000 K in salaries, creation of new business areas, 15 Ks in marketing and communication, and 10 K specialized equipment and software. Mostly, I would say, license that we need to continue. These are our projections for developing of the Delab project over the next 5 years. We expect to close 2020 with around 266,000 euros and with a positive result. It reflects the work of a team composed by 7 elements, which includes 3 interns and that we intend to hire in 2021. As you can see in this table, the lab projects will have a positive EBITDA since start, which is positive to investors for 2 different reasons. First, the company will be able to fund itself, and second, the positive cash flows will allow the investors to access a quick payback with a solid return on investment. In terms of our projections for 2021, we consider the following assumptions of the activity. Innovation in development, we have around 15,000 euros within the scope of European project already in progress that we will have to continue next year. We'll have energy efficiency around 200,000 within the scope of the energy certification and audit activity, a portfolio of works in progress and to be collected during the year. We expect to have on PV consulting and supervision 182,000 within the scope of ongoing consultancy and licensing projects portfolio, and with the execution of the supervision works for 6 power plants for self-consumption with a total of 3 megawatt peaks. And our target or goal for a solar energy solution is around 450,000 to be achieved within the scope of the next new on the new business unit. We have proposal presented, as I said before. The following years configure a scenario of moderate growth associated with the consolidation of the company's activity, reflecting the commercial dynamism that is intended to be implemented in 2021. Regarding investment opportunities, in the main areas, regarding the, I just pushed the wrong button. Really sorry for that. Here we are again. Regarding the main areas and opportunities for growth and investments in the company, we point out energy efficiency and green energy consulting and supervision with 0.5 million euros to be achieved within the next 2 to 3 years in a short-term base, and green energy solution for industry and large-scale building with a target of 3 million euros business within the next 5 years. With regards our team, we basically within our organization, I would especially point out Rui Tavares, which is our business developer for energy and efficiency area. Raquel Rosado, our next speaker, is running the energy efficiency department and also innovation and development department. And Gonçalo Elias, that is running the green energy department and will address the last presentation. And here we are, Rui Tavares, business developer, Gonçalo Elias, Raquel Rosado, and Rogério Pereira, which works, that's working also with Gonçalo Elias, and then our 3 young interns, Liliana Oliveira, Tânia Reis, and Ana Serra, that are with us for more than 1 year. And then I finish my presentation. Thank you very much. I hope you will enjoy it, and I'll go through with the next speaker, which is Raquel Rosado. So just give me 1 minute.
António, please just check if there is anyone trying to enter the meeting.
Okay, we'll do just right now. I'm just trying to.
You have to give access as a host.
Okay.
To mute the attendance.
Okay. Sorry, Raquel, I'm just getting to you just in a moment. Raquel, where are you? Raquel. Okay, it's up to you now, Raquel.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, let me see if I can. Okay. So, are you all seeing my presentation?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So let me introduce myself. I am Raquel Rosado, and I'm an environmental engineer. I've been working with coordination and implementation of energy audits, energy dynamic simulation, the development of energy efficiency, improvement measures, and energy certification of buildings. Okay. Just 1 second. Okay, let's continue. Here we go. So, as well as all we know, the climate change is the main topic that has been appearing in the strategic documents and in the European laws, and therefore it will be strongly supported by the European funds in 2021 to 2030. So we need to understand what we can do to adapt to the effects of the climate change. For us, the 5 activities in the energy sector that we can do are reduction, the emissions and the environment impacts of the investment, improve the energy efficiency for each sector, growing the social awareness, and development of renewable energy sources and energy storage technology. First of all, if you want to reduce the emissions and the environmental impact, we need to understand what is happening with the energy in the installation or in the sector. To do that, we need to do an energy audit. This can be applied in every sector. In building, with application of National Decree Law, which established the Energy Building Certification and the Energy Performance Certificate. All right. For the intensive energy consumption installation, such as the industry sector, there is an obligation to do an energy audit, which focus on the conditions of the energy use and promote an increase in energy efficiency and renewable energy sources. There is also a national regulation which promotes the management of energy consumption for the transport sector. And once again, there is the need for an energy audit that can promote the improvement of the energy efficiency in this sector. In 2015, the 68th Decree Law established the obligation for companies that are not small or medium enterprise to carry out energy audits with independent technicals duly accredited for it. These audits must be renewed at least every 4 years, taking into account the date of the last energy audit. Delab has been carrying out a lot of energy audits in the main sectors, such as commercial and service buildings, industry, since in most of the cases they are intensive energy consumers, and also in the transport sector. Now that we have reached our main targets and have the knowledge from all of the energy audits, we have been also helping them out to adapt and improve the energy efficiency of their installation. So here are some examples of the energy efficiency measures and management that we have been doing. Energy efficiency in lighting by replacing the old and non-efficient lighting systems with other that are more energy efficient, or by optimize the lighting systems taking into account the needs of the company. These measures allow the reduction of the energy bill since it reduces the equipment power and optimize the hours of use. In some cases, we help the client to invest in this kind of measures and share the energy savings with them. And it is a safe measure with a less environmental impact due to the long service lives of the equipment. Beyond lighting efficiency, we also do studies and projects related to the energy consumption management in buildings and in industrial, commercial, or service facilities, always dealing with the management and rational use of energy. The energy management system makes possible to know in detail the profile of any energy source consumption of the main sectors or the equipment of your installation. You can have access to these results from an online platform, and we have been helping to install this kind of systems in some installations. The online results can be as different as you want, since you can have your data in a simple report or in a comparative map. The online platform is dynamic and user-friendly. And for those who want to implement the ISO norm 50000, the energy management system are a great way to organize your energy data, establish your goals, and analyze continuously your energy performance. One more energy efficiency measure that we use to implement is associated to the reactive energy that is used in the operation of certain equipment and devices. In most of the cases, the cost associated to this kind of energy can be reduced just by installing condenser batteries. The advantages of this measure are the reduction of the reactive energy costs through the optimization of the power factor, the reduction of the electricity bill since it is reduced the portion of costs associated with the reactive energy, and environmental benefits with the indirect reduction of CO2 emissions. We believe that the knowledge must be shared, and we only can get better if we work together with other entities. So we also work to grow the social awareness on the topic of energy efficiency and green power. We have been working on national and European project that promotes the synergy between education and research entities, energy companies, and public policy decision makers. Our recent project is an European project called GreenFin, which the main goal is to create a sustainable energy expert professional that can have knowledge in the energy efficiency, finance, and climate change all together. But our activities don't stop here. We also work in studies and projects related to development of renewable energy source and energy storage. In most cases, the projects are associated to renewable energy communities, renewable energies and storage systems, and we can conduct studies, technical evaluation, and technical, economic, and financial analysis of investment projects. So, last but not least, energy efficiency is increasingly appearing in strategic documents and in the European and national laws. Energy audits are the base for the implementation of great energy efficiency measures and management. All the energy efficiency measures and management can have a great impact on the energy bill and on the environment. And the knowledge of energy efficiency, green power, is needed in the work of a designer or a consultant such as we are. So I would like to thank you for your attention, and I hope that you can join us in future projects. And then now I will pass the word to my colleague, Gonçalo Elias.
Thanks, Miguel.
Just 1 second, let me see. All right. There we go.
Thank you very much. I hope you can watch the presentation. Not yet. Sorry.
Not yet.
Sorry. Hi, my name is Gonçalo Elias, and although I've worked my entire career in the electricity sector at energy companies, I'm also an environmental engineer, which is an additional obvious advantage dealing with large-scale green power projects. That's why, that's one of the reasons I'm in charge of the green power division at Delab. Energy decarbonization is a term which is often applied to large regions, countries, or even society as a whole. However, the European Union emissions trading scheme and other mechanisms which came to incorporate economic externalities on fuels value have effectually led to a consciousness change on companies' decision makers. 2 decades ago, it was unthinkable the heavy sulfur fuels were to be replaced by natural gas or biogas, a substitution which is practically completely outspread throughout Europe's industry. In the past 2 decades, Europe has witnessed a tremendous implementation of 4 main technological changes, all leading to a future less dependent on fossil fuels. Fuel substitution, fewer heavy fuels, and the widespread use of natural gas and biogas, mainly in industry, but also quite visibly in the transportation sector. An energy efficiency boom with legislation pushing for certification and growing awareness, and rising energy prices driving technological changes. Electrification and grid development leading to better, more affordable solutions like, for example, heat pumps and electrical devices, where so far only liquid petrol gas was available. And obviously a green power boom with wind and photovoltaic energy leading the exponential industry growth, but with solar, thermal, and biomass applications also with widespread usage, although with a slower growth. Nowadays, on the road to Europe's projected milestones at 2030 and the complete decarbonization planned by 2050, we watch several important changes. A complete phase out of dirty fuels and the closing of obsolete LPG or natural gas plants, fewer nuclear plants due to several factors, high environmental impact and safety issues mainly. Both in the European Union and in Portugal, there has been governmental subsidies and incentives to passive and active improvements at residential and small business levels. There are several hydrogen projects being piloted, as we all know, and it is being studied and implemented, and increased hydrogen use in pipeline natural gas. Sorry. PV technology is reaching a maturity point from which its implementation is starting to compete with conventional technologies and achieving return of investment values unthinkable of just 10 years ago. So decarbonization is underway. The market, helped with subsidies aimed at reaching niches, is leading Europe and Portugal into a society and an industry less dependent on fossil fuels to achieve growth and to create value. Energy decentralization is already a reality, since green power is both decreasing electricity demand in large urban centers by a widespread PV implementation on shopping malls, suburban industries, large business centers we all have been witnessing, and growing electricity grids and increasing supply sources in small urban areas or in rural areas by the construction of wind and solar-based power plants driven by the Portuguese government, but without subsidies. Due to its extensive network, resulting of a decades-long portfolio, it is only natural the main concepts Delab is currently being consulted for are energy efficiency projects in sites where the replacement of energy sources is urgently needed and energy usage must be monitored, controlled, and downgraded, and renewable energy projects where green power either compensates for the acquisition of electrical energy, where the producers are also the energy consumers, that's the meaning of the PV prosumers term, or where the energy is simply mass produced and transported to the final consumer. Wind energy and biomass energy that were so promising just a few years ago have presented fewer investment return for a number of reasons. Wind energy, for example, due to its unreliability and its intermittency, proved to be totally dependent on state subsidies. Biogas showed growth only in some niche markets capable of taking advantage of large-scale projects. And biomass energy usage and its value depends closely on biomass quality and typology, being unreliable for most users, whether in residues valorization, whether at Portugal's disorganized forestry management. The term prosumer was first coined in 1980 by Alvin Toffler and has come to refer to a person or group directly collaborating with the design and production of a specific good. Its adaptation to the self-consumption concept on the PV industry past few years was intuitive, since a PV plant at an industrial or business level must take into consideration not only the installed capacity and its potential production, but also the unit's baseload diagram, the unit's energy consumption. This happens because, as we all know, there is a considerable gap between the high energy price the site has to pay for its acquisition and the low price of the energy surplus the unit eventually sells when it does not consume the energy that the power plant is generating. However, the construction of the PV plant will experience a specific marginal investment reduction at larger scale units. So logically, the larger the PV plant, the price for installed peak watt will gradually drop, which will then be the best option for a specific unit or customer. Here you can see a chart with the unit's site's baseload diagram and two different sizes of PV plants at yellow and red. So the other lines are the consumption of the factory in this case. Well, based in the baseload diagram, representative of the customer's typical energy consumptions, our modules can easily detail the energy output at each specific moment throughout the entire year, detailing how much energy and money was not spent in each moment, depending on the unit's tariff period, and thus allowing us to add to a value representing typical annual savings. So the prosumer will eventually address the market to negotiate the best conditions for selling the energy surplus, but these conditions will never achieve the costly energy prices the unit has to pay for its acquisition. So the ideal PV plant will be the one that presents better financial indexes based on estimates on energy prices acquired and sold, and on the energy output, which will also diminish over time. There are several metrics used to evaluate the best return of investment, but one of the most widely used throughout Portuguese PV industry is the net present value, which incorporates several concepts, as probably you all know. It compares the actual investment with future revenues, but that is also made by the internal rate of return. It emphasizes long-term energy output variations into the calculation, much more than the internal rate of return. And since PV plants, life expectancies are common to exceed 3 or even 4 decades, long-term calculations are quite relevant since they promote the most reliable technologies over time. PV consulting, as well as supervision and assessment of implementation, has been in the last 5 years one of the business areas with greater exponential growth in Portugal and at Delab in particular, both in office buildings and in industry. A reflection of the PV industry growth in Portugal has also been the growing customer portfolio on the licensing of suitable grounds for large-scale PV power plants. Delab is also a provider of complete EPC solutions, either through turnkey projects or through ESCO agreements with third-party financing. Sorry. Today, Portuguese law allows for basically 2 different kinds of large-scale PV power plants. The reverse auction procedures, where the government allocates capacity according to the lowest energy price bid, where the state will pay a certain sum for every energy unit delivered by the plant. The problem, these procedures entail high competition and small revenues, although they entail low risk. And some legal dispatches have not quite defined how the final procedure will come into place. Although there has been several options, the procedures are simply stuck in the state's regulatory agency. There is another possibility that there is bilateral contracts or power purchase agreements where the producer must develop its own energy distribution and deliver capacity, or either pay a fee for using the existing. This option has better revenues, entails some risk, because the terrain must meet scrupulous environmental standards, and the capacity distribution must be studied and defined by a central regulatory institution. So unfortunately, Portuguese regulatory institutions, both environmental and electrical, have been a little bit slow to meet the technical demands and the number of cases on each case, on either one of the cases. And renewable energy communities are defined in 2019 European Clean Energy Package, and they were translated into Portuguese law October last year, including some regulations on sizing, net metering, institutional relations, and so on. However, some law has still to come out to define several procedures and regulations. For instance, regulating the community's legal stand as if they want to become energy suppliers for entities outside the community. And several Portuguese counties have already consulted the lab to develop and build scenarios of this instrument's implementation, namely using available rooftops at schools or other buildings where the municipality has no relevant energy demand. The most important conclusions we can derive is that Portuguese markets are undoubtedly betting on energy efficiency to meet Europe's and Portugal's increasingly stringent legislation, to compensate rising energy prices, and to address growing environmental concerns. Portuguese PV industry is booming since Portugal has some of the best conditions for PV investment. long sunny hours without overheat throughout the year, stable and reliable political settings, thorough legislation, which will facilitate long-term investments. Delab is already working on many PV projects, both at industry and office buildings, supervision, ground licensing, plant sizing, large-scale renewable energy communities, and we have recently ventured into our first EPC project. Thank you very much. I'll pass the word to Tiago.
Thank you very much, Gonçalo. I think the three presentations were quite good. I would, since there are no questions in the chat box, maybe I would place a question to António as CEO of the company. This company is one of our most promising startups, and we know that you, as manager of the company, you are preparing the company to grow, to start what is called the scale-up phase. You were talking about the intention of putting 100,000 euros of new investment in the company, opening the capital to new investors or the current ones. But that is not an amount, that is not a significant amount for a company that intends to grow. So my question is this enough? Is this investment enough to take this company to those numbers that you showed in the slide? Is this because the company is already profitable and there's also a component of out of financing, of positive cash flow financing in new investments? And also, what kind of investments will the company be making in order to grow? What's the main cash needs?
Okay. I think the lab stage at the moment, we have a consolidated business in our core business area, which is a very competitive business in the market. I'm talking about auditing and building certification. We are trying to expand our business based on our clients, because it's very difficult to achieve clients. And once we have clients, we need to expand business within our clients. So this is what we can do with the actual team and the actual resources that we already have in place. So that's the trend that we are seeking basically on a daily basis, is to project more business within our business. And that's what we are doing. And I think we are doing quite well, because we're already presenting a lot of offers on different areas, monitoring, management of energy, PV self-consumption. We are already placed proposal for that. And basically we are not searching for new class, we're not searching for new clients, because we are just digging on existing clients. So and for that we can grow, but our growth is going to be slow. We are not growing fast. We have a slow growth. We intend to improve, to increase the revenues, but the growth will be slow. So we need to project a new area and investment that we think that it's feasible, not to take a big share of capital of the company, but to bet on the company in a short period to have a return on investment. We think that 100,000 is what is required, basically to expand that new business area, which you are talking about a specialized business developer within this area that will raise what the company needs. So the drive of the company is basically the developing area, the commercial area. We need to have that drive, and we need to recruit the right person to the company, and we have to budget it that in order to grow. So I don't think it's a lack of expertise. I don't think it's a technical issue of the company. What I think it's basically to find with that type of investment the means that we need to expand the activity And of course, on that budget, we also considering the inclusion of some specific software that this type of area requires, and so it's not a huge amount of investment to grow the company. It's the right investment, and I would say 100,000 will be sufficient to make the company grow, because the market is there. So we are competing in the market. So we are another player in the market, which is good, and it's a huge market. So competitive market, it's for us as well. It's not for the companies that are already there. It's for us as well, and we can reach that market. So we have to have that drive, and we need the right person. And we think that we can build that area once we start having sales, because that's the easy part. Once you have sales, the easy part is to install and supervise and to drive and to manage. That's not the part that we will not have any type of problems to run that. The basic issue is to promote the company in a new area and based on the current area. So what we are doing right now is quite good. We are doing it very well, but we need to expand within our customers, within our clients, and it's a work to be done. And we are shaping our mindset in order to do that. And we are already doing it. And the other issue is that will allow us to grow. And for that, we don't need any investment, okay? If we want to go faster, we need more investment in order to find the right person that, of course, has to be paid for that, and will achieve what the company needs in a very short term. And I would say that's completely feasible. The numbers that our projections is completely feasible. There's a new area of which I think will have a huge impact in the lab, which is the supervision area, because there will be lots of public entities that are going to require inspection services for supervising the installation of these power plants. And it's something that we can do it very easily, and we already have in the company the right persons, and it's reasonable. It's very easy to scale, and that will give us what we don't have. And what we don't have is a base revenue, a month revenue, and that type of projects, because we are talking about projects about 6 to 12 months. We will have a base revenue, which is not the case of this company, because the type of clients that we have are just one shot. We just do one shot, and you are out. So we need to have like some revenues, fixed revenues on a monthly base, and then project the company with some other type of business. That is that's very high. That's the profit is not so much on the business, because you are subcontracting most of the job. But later on, you might be able to have more margins on the job once you are already in place.
António, we have a question from Nilza.
Okay.
Okay. I think it's for you.
Hi. Hi, Nilza.
Nilza, looking at you. Is Nilza online?
Yes, I'm here. Are you listening me?
Yeah.
Yeah, quite well.
To place your question.
Actually, my question is more technical, because unfortunately I was only able to join within Raquel's presentation. But my question is how Delab is planning to contribute to the national targets and to this new renovation wave under the buildings. If you will contribute with this with consultancy services, or if you are thinking to create another support to the end users, to the customers, what are your plans? I'm not sure if this question is to Raquel or to wherever decided.
Yeah, I would say Raquel might respond to you as well, but I would say a few words with regards to that. I think we on the type of service that we are trying to expand and already presenting proposals are going to on that part are going through your question. I think if I understood. So we are already presenting, we are offering a management of energy and monitoring of energy, which is something that is related with measures that the clients will have to put in place in order to save money. It's not only a report, it's much more than that. So that we are already offering, and it's something we can do very easily. And I would say most of the reports that we are doing for audit and building certification, it's the primary measure is to implement management, energy, and monitoring, and something that will bring some cost reductions to the customers, to the end users. So that is something we can provide, and it's something that we are already offering. We can offer some much more things related with energy measures that could be in place. So we want to be much more than a consultancy company. We want to provide services,
a full package.
A full package of energy measures, and we want to bring much more value once you get into the clients. Once you have a client, it's your client. We have to explore everything the most you can do it on the client. So that is what we should do to raise our business volume, our revenues monthly, and that's what we are trying to do. And we can do it very easily because we are experts on energy. So we can provide that quite well without any problem. And we can manage that. It's only management. We are talking about management and be able to offer. But I'm not sure if it's what you are asking. Otherwise, I will pass to Raquel, and Raquel will finish.
Actually, please, Miguel.
I'm sorry, just to say a little bit about our point of view. Yes, we are a company that have a lot of experience on consulting and doing energy audits, as we all know, and now we just want to get that knowledge and expand them. We want to implement measures, want to help to all the installations, all the targets, to contribute and make that energy transition. It's crucial for us to get our knowledge and help them to make that step in the smooth way as possible. So that's why we are developing also this kind of works like monitoring, lighting efficiency, and energy and renewable energy sources. So that I think that has explained it well.
And I think that you got the point, because we are also talking about the national energy and climate plans. I'm not sure if we lose Raquel.
We lost Raquel, yes.
So just to complete my comment, I raised this because we are also talking about not only the Green Deal, but also about the national energy and climate plans. And we will have the long-term renovation strategies that will be, I hope, present and approved in the short coming months, I guess. So, and I think that there is a good opportunity to not rethink, but replan about how you would like to contribute to these renovation waves under the building stock. So it was the meaning of my question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nilsa, for your question. I think it's a huge challenge for us to grow this company, and I believe that the future will bring us that. I strongly believe that. I think we have a huge opportunity to grow the company. We just need the right investments on the right time. And I think the time is now, even despite COVID, but I hope a vaccine will come quite shortly on coming here to not to disrupt the economy and to give us the good environment to grow. And that's it. So we have it all. We just need a little push in the end of the year just to start quite well on the next year.
And also, as my last comment, and is related to Gonçalo's presentation, I think that the strategy to use PV plants to boost the new called energy communities, and also to contribute to overcome the energy poverty that we will talking in 1 month or 2 months in Portugal. I think it's a good strategy and a new channel for you and another opportunity of business. So Gonçalo, you got the point about the PV plants, in my opinion.
Well, I'm not. I think the investment in the PV industry is more of a reflex of the lowering manufacturing prices, and a reflex also of the investments made by the state in well, for example, in the reverse auction procedures. They came to put Portugal on an international focus, on an international light, and I believe much of the PV growth in Portugal in the past few years comes also from well, state propaganda on Portugal's obvious advantages.
Yeah, and you are on the right stage. So in the beginning, trying to reach the Green Deal, introducing the PV panels, energy community, energy poverty, and also and always based on the starting point as the consultancy services. So you have all to contribute to achieve the targets.
Yes, yes. Fortunately we do have all the tools we need to exponentially grow this kind of business, because we were already in a position of consultancy, of advising our customers, and much of this, well, supervision, inspection works came on existing customers' portfolio, but not only. For example, Tagus Park was a very recent project. If I'm not mistaken, it was October 2019, or even sooner. So it's well, I don't know what else to say. It's an obvious reflex. I think Portugal has all advantages to I like the term, to take advantage of the great sunny hours, as I exposed, and environmental regulations are also suitable. I don't believe there are many who say that there are more environmental regulations for PV that should have been, that should exist, but I don't think so. In my opinion, I believe there are just regulations enough. So regarding Delab, we are experiencing a business growth, and that's one of the points that António was talking about, because our PV department is growing, and a little investment should be more than enough to take advantage of the rising number of consults and requests that we have been having.
Good luck. I finish here my comments.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. António, this market potential, this is only Portugal, these numbers that you have shown? Or does it consider any international business?
No, I wasn't considering any international business, just Portugal. I think it's quite feasible. If you look at the numbers of other companies in the market that will be our competitors, they are already there. They are already there. They grow in 2-3 years. They reach that point. So if they can, we can. So that's what we should think, because there are companies on the market just doing just that, and the marketing and the goals for the goals from PNEC for 2030. If I'm not wrong, it's about 1 gigawatt for these markets, for decentralized energy, for industry and large-scale buildings. So, and we are not there. So it's a huge market. We will have a part of that market. And I'm just thinking on Portugal at the moment. No, I don't know any rules, any regulation from other countries. So I'm just thinking about Portugal, and to make this a profitable business for us and a strong company, and after that, we might think some other countries. Why not? But we are not there yet.
Do you have any company that serves as an inspiration? A kind of
yes,
that one
yes.
day I want to be like them?
Yeah, I would say that we are going to be more than them, because we are going to do a part of their business. And if we add our business to their business, we are a stronger company because we are doing much more. And what they provide is just PV self-consumption industry, and they manage that. They offer it and they manage. They do project management with directly with or without financing. And we are doing much more than that. We have like a background of business, and we are going to have this part of the business. Of course, in our business plan, this part of the business, it's a huge part of the revenue, but in terms of gross margin, it's much lower because we are still contracting most of the job. And but in a way, it will make your business grow much more than some other areas that I mentioned in my presentation.
Very good. So let me just finish this session, thanking all the attendants, and especially as investors, thanking Delab for this very good presentation. It is an honor to be an investor in a company like yours with such a motivated team, which is very important for investors. I think we have also a pretty good group of investors behind the company, supporting the company. And so just to conclude, I think the company is effectively in very good shape, in very good conditions in order to an experience of accelerated growth, which is our intention from now on. From the point of view as an investor that is focused and is searching for projects in the sustainability or energy, I think this is a perfect fit. There's also an interesting angle of collaboration with other projects that are also being supported by our group of business angels. That's another issue. But in the end, just finishing by saying that this company will probably close this capital increase operation by the first quarter of the next year, and then the company will hopefully deliver the targets and create value for shareholders, for the community, for stakeholders of the company. And thank you very much for your presentation and for sharing your thoughts with us. And for anyone interested in knowing more about Delab or about VSM Investment Studio, about our group of business angels, or even with interest of joining our group, feel free to contact us. And I hope to see you soon in one of our other webinars that we are preparing right now. And so thank you very much. I will now finish the presentation, and bye-bye. Thank you very much.